What's up, y'all? If you're new here, my name is Marcus. I am a composer, I am a producer, I am director of Southside Symphony. I have been a full time composer and music maker for a few years now, and it kind of recently hit me that no one really knows what I do or what my life looks like, or like, and not just like people online, but like even like my family. They kind of really don't know what my life is like. And I make a lot of videos on my channel, just giving general advice about like trying to pursue your dreams or trying to be a creative and just trying to like follow your path or figure out what your path may be. And although I have like the accolades to back that up, I did Lady in the Lake for Apple TV. I did Escort Honk for Jesus Save Your Soul for NBC Universal. I worked with Beyonce, Andrew Day. I have a PhD back here, if I can see it on the monitor. So I've done a lot of cool things, but there's always like this disconnect, and it seems like there's always just like there's like this othering. And so I want to show more of the behind the scenes stuff. And I'm actually about to start a new TV series. So I thought this would be a really cool sort of vlog series. This format of video is new for me, but I plan to just like take you with me as I travel for the holidays, as I start this new TV series at the same time. What does it mean to be a composer for a TV show? What does it mean to be a full-time creative? What does that look like in this modern era where you don't necessarily have like a retainer, or you know what I mean, you get a check every week? And so I hope that this can like one, shed insight into the realities of some of these things, especially like the hardships, the behind the scenes. I plan to be honest, like I always am, but also to just like foster community, because it's like, hey, I struggle with a lot of the same things you struggle with. I'm just trying to figure it out the same way you're trying to figure it out. And I think us collectively, we can kind of like talk through a lot of these things together. An added complication is that like I'm going to be traveling while all of this is kicking off. I'm now engaged, so my fiance and I are going to be like traveling together for the first time this holidays. That's new. We're going to go, so we'll fly to Detroit. We'll be there for a little while. Fly down to Atlanta where her family is. We're going to make a stop in New York between Christmas and New Year's so that she can find a wedding dress. Hopefully, I think it's going to take a few times, but she's going to stop at the famous Kleinfeld's, the famous wedding dress shop. Then we're going to go back to Atlanta for New Year's, and then finally back here to LA. All the while during this, I'm supposed to be like starting this TV series and starting to compose ideas for it. And this is like not unprecedented. Like these type of deadlines are super normal when you work as a creative person. Like you often are having to like juggle a lot of different things at once. And so I just want to share the reality. I'm tired already, and I just want to not lie about that or not hide that. A lot of the work we do is exhausting, but I'm excited about this show. I can't tell you what it is or what network it's going to be yet at this point, but I do think it's going to be cool if you could like follow along and you'll see like where do we end up. And so just so you know where we're at with it right now, I was brought on super early for this show. They haven't even casted it yet. I've read scripts, but I haven't saw anything yet because they frankly don't have anything. And I will say that being brought on this early in the TV process is not normal for composers, but I think these showrunners specifically just really value music really highly, and they just want it to be right, and they consider it like an integral part of the storytelling. So they just want to like start early and get a head start on it. They want it to be original, they want it to be fresh, and I'm really excited to work with them. So the first phase that I'm at with this is just fishing for sounds. They haven't heard any new ideas yet. Basically, we talked about it. I read the scripts. We talked about like what are we aiming for, and I got the sense that like they want something unique. They're not looking for what I call one music please, which is like the attitude of just like, yeah, I need some music, any music will do, one music please. It's like they want something distinct, they want something unique, they want something that like this place to have a unique sound. And so I'm excited about it. I'm excited to work with these people. It might be helpful if I back up a bit and like how did I get this job? Because like that's something that a lot of people in whatever field they are in often think about. Like, how do you get these big breaks? How do you get these jobs? And this one specifically I got because they had saw previous work of mine. This goes with like a lot of, I've went on rants a lot of times. Like one that like had a lot of people reacting to me on like Instagram and stuff was when I said that like you don't need to network, you need to make things. And this is a prime example of that. It's like I didn't get this job by like going to networking events or like schmoozing or any of these things, or by like nepotism or who I know or whatever. It was like I got this job because I made something and then someone heard that and it resonated with them. This is not to like toot my own horn or to make myself out to be like just like, oh, I'm so great, but it just means that like it resonated with this person. You know what I mean? I didn't like win awards, I didn't do this and this, but like the person who was supposed to hear it heard it, and now we're working together, and there's nothing else I could have done besides made those things. Anyway, rant over. But I got this gig because they heard something that I made and that they liked, and that this is the first time that that's happened for me in film and TV just that way. Like, of course, like before I got other gigs, I had to send portfolios and they dug them. But I've noticed already that just like the whole relationship, the whole dynamic is just way different, like light years different from when like you pitch to try to get onto a project and you finally like, get in, or when they come to you. Like they came to me, I had one meeting with the guy, really casual, and then I had the job. It's like on situations when I've tried to like pitch on a thing, it's like, man, I had to have meetings and then meetings about meetings and then meetings with their boss and then their boss. And you have to like just try to like convince someone to just give you a chance. And they can always fire you anyway, and you still have to like fight and claw. But it's like when they want you, it's just like, it's nothing. Like I had a meeting and it was one person on the meeting. And that was really the only one before like I basically got offered the job. But yeah, these people are really, really cool. They seem really into the art. I'm so excited to work on this with them, and I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the schedule with like my travel and everything I got going on is going to be tough. More about that later. But overall, I'm optimistic, and I think this is a really good problem to have. All right. Well, I'll see you soon. Honestly, I didn't do a ton of work while I was there. We got hit with snow really early, and even though I grew up around it, you just kind of like your blood thins out, man. You're just not used to it anymore. But yeah, while we were there for the holidays, I got to spend a lot of time with my new niece, Tuda Wang. Little roundy. We played a lot of games. I lost, just keeping it a buck. Here, my dad tried to cheat. He's not very good at it.
Big cheater.
Hey, you didn't even know how to react.
I never heard say woo in my whole life.
You usually play like.
I literally have never heard him say woohoo in his life. But we really had a great time, and it poured into me. What I did not do was get very much work done. I was kind of thinking about it though, if I'm being honest. But look at this baby. Look at this baby. How can you possibly be thinking about work when you got a cutie like that looking at you? So our next stop was a very quick pit stop to New York. where my fiance would be looking at some wedding dresses. Honestly, I love New York. We got engaged there not too long ago, in October 2024. It's a city that, we have a lot of good memories in, and there's a famous wedding dress place there, so I've been told, called Kleinfeld's, and this is where she wanted to look for her dress. We're only there a couple days, and I really need to get back to work. After that brief intermission, we are going to Atlanta, where my fiance is from. And like I said, I really got to get some work done. I'm enjoying the holidays. I'm enjoying spending all this time with everybody. But I do try to sneak in a few hours of work here and there while I can. It's an old habit that I can't break. We were in Atlanta for a little bit over a week. And I actually did manage to just keep the ball rolling. What I do when I get to a new place, first thing I do when I go to my hotel room, or in this case, we were staying in their childhood bedrooms, is I just immediately set up my laptop and my travel workstation, even though I'm tired, because this kind of helps eliminate the resistance when you wake up the next day. I might not get no work done that first day, you're jet lagged and all this, but if you wake up the next morning and you still have to unpack your setup and plug everything in, I'm definitely not going to be working. So that's kind of my pro tip. But yeah, so I got at this point, all I'm doing is just kind of sketching the ideas. I'm just trying to generate materials and figure out what the sound world for this TV series is even going to be. Hey guys, it's me, Uncle Marcus here, just doing some serious work at my desk. I wanted to let you know that it's important to give your ears a break. Ear health is very important in our industry. The best way to give your ears a break is to put the headphones on your cheeks, actually. Follow me for more. If you can't tell, I love my nieces and nephews, and I am an uncle 20 times over. After a great but exhausting holiday, now it's time to go back to LA and get to work. So I just sent off the first batch of demos for the new TV series that I'm composing for. And, this should be a celebratory thing, but I'm going to be honest, I'm kind of I think I had some anxiety or nervousness around it in a way that, I don't know if those are the right words, but those are the best words I have for now, so I'll use them. But I think I kind of had some dread around it, and I think a lot of it has to do with how tumultuous the last TV project I worked on was. Thankful to have done the projects that I've done, but it took a year. There was a double strikes in the middle, and there was just so many cooks in the kitchen. It was just this unique storm of things that meant that this project ended up taking about a year of my life. And I think I've carried some of that baggage into this project and I'm trying to work through. I've been thinking a lot lately about how one of the most underrated skills for creatives, or just anybody trying to do something, but especially creatives, is this ability to just metaphorically take a punch and then just get right back up and keep doing the thing enthusiastically. That said, it took me a while to do these first batch of demos, and I know a lot of it is baggage that I'm carrying from the last TV project that I worked on. But the people that I'm working with have given me every indication that they are going to be great collaborators. They care so much about the art. One huge green flag is that when I did my first meeting with the show creator, it was just us, and I didn't even officially have the gig yet, which shows me that they care about the art. Many times when you do interviews or whatever to try to get these gigs, there's going to be you with 7 people, 4 or 5 of them are execs, and 2 or 3 of them are checking their emails the whole time during the thing. It's just not really an artistic environment or artistic call or about the art. And when I usually get the one-on-one meetings, or when the meeting is really just about artistic things, then it's like it's a huge green flag for me. That was like this. And also they just seem like interested in what I'm doing. We did a kickoff meeting for the production like right before the holidays, and they just seemed like happy to see me and catch up with me again. I don't know. I just think they're cool people. They're interesting. They sought me out, which is new for me in this space. All that goes to say is like any dread I'm feeling around, or like hesitance to send the first demos off, is nothing to do with these people. They are amazing, and they seem amazing so far, and have given me every indication that they're going to be good collaborators. So I'm hopeful. I'm proud of myself for still just keep going at it, working through it. Don't tell yourself everything has to be perfect before you even start. Don't tell yourself that every single thing you do every time has to be the best thing you've ever done. I do think they're interesting. I do think they're weird, but I think you have to go through that interesting and weird, imperfect, to get to that brilliant. Otherwise, you're just doing the same thing that everybody else is doing. I sent 9 demos in this first batch. I tried to just give like a lot of variance, a lot of variety, so that we can kind of have a lot of colors and a lot of ideas to pick and choose from. Hopefully something in that batch resonates with them. If nothing in there resonates with them, then I'm just kind of in the wrong world, and I could use some more direction, which I'm happy to receive. And I kind of emphasize that too. I said like, hey, I'm really not a precious collaborator. I'm happy to receive any feedback, notes, direction, anything like that. Yeah, so I don't know, talking through this helps, and I feel good about it. And hopefully something in there resonates with them, and yeah, we can keep kicking this off. I mean, best case is like they're just like, yeah, man, all of these are good. Let's put all these in the show somewhere. We do have a whole season to fill, so yeah, fingers crossed. Let's see what comes of it. So I sent them the first demos for the show, and I sent them like 9. They liked like 8 out of 9, which is really encouraging. I just really feel like I'm on the right track, and it's just good to know, right? Because when you're working on things by yourself in this vacuum, especially this very first send off, when it's your first time working with somebody and you're sending them demos, it's like you just never know what to expect. Like, because in art, people's languages can be so different, right? Like, if I say make something more warm, to one person that could mean like you need more bass or low end. To another person that could mean, I need like electric piano or something soothing and velvety. It's like when we talk about music, unless you're like a trained music theorist or something, it's like we can only speak in analogies, and those analogies mean something different to everybody else. And that makes it so hard as a composer, especially a collaborative composer, like working in film and TV, to like, how do I understand you? I always like to send a big batch, because on this first draft, especially because it's like you're trying to establish that language as soon as possible. I also want to add and remember that like I'm working with like some really good collaborators, like as far as like their energy and good people and good artists. Like they've reached out and checked on me today just about like with the LA fires going on, which were crazy, and like things got so crazy here, and I've been sick for like a week and a half. I've been meaning to record this video. I actually sent the demos maybe like right before the fires hit or something. And but anyway, I've been like sick this whole time from like breathing in the fumes on like one of the first or second day. Now we got all the air purifiers running. Yeah, but I mean, the headline is that they really liked the demos, all except for one. And on that one, they just, gave me appropriate feedback, and which is what you hope for. And the next steps are, now we're going to start trying to find other moods. Like we kind of have like our main thematic ideas, our main instrumentation, but it's like, okay, now in this sound world, how do you make joy? How do you make tension? How do you make suspense or action? or any of these other things. So these are some of the sounds that I'm starting to fish for now. They just started shooting, which is exciting. We expect to see what they call dailies today or tonight or tomorrow. And dailies are like at the end of the day, they just dump the footage they got, and I'm getting access to that. I've never been on board a show this early before. Film scoring and stuff, they call it post-production. It's part of the post-production process, meaning like they've already shot it, they've already produced the thing, and you come in at the end to kind of add your sprinkles on top. This director, the show creator, they really value music and like wanted it to be integral and like bring it on really, really early. So it's a luxury really to have that time, because normally you're just under the time crunch and you're like you're stressed. So it's like I'll get access to the dailies and I'll get to kind of like start experimenting and seeing like, hey, does some of this stuff we've come up with, does it work? Does it not? Like once we actually see it, because it becomes a different thing once you're actually looking at the thing versus an idea. So I'm excited about this process. It's going to be a lot of work, as TV series are. It's going to be a sprint. I'm kind of enjoying the fact that like right now I don't really have hard deadlines. We're just kind of like exploring and being artsy about it, because that's kind of how it is when you first start an art career. It's like when you first start and you don't have any big gigs or anything, you're always like, I'm making music because I want to and I'm inspired. But like once you become a professional, it's just like you got to be on it, and it's tough, it's hard, it's grueling, it's all of those things. But like with this right now, I get to breathe a little bit, and I'm enjoying that, and I'm appreciating it, because I know once it starts, once those deadlines start coming, I know it's like they're just going, they won't stop until the show's over. But I'm prepared. I've done this before. I got a good team. I got, my assistant from the last series I did is gonna be on board for this one. Trying an intern for the first time. I'd never done it before, but this is somebody who, I've been kind of mentoring. Mentoring is a strong word, but just helping him out and guiding him with different things. And then he reached out to me about an internship, and I'm like, let me think about it. But the reason I gave him a shot, what impressed me is that like, when we had talked before, he had talked about wanting to work for me or something, and I asked him about like some specific programs that I use, and I'll say them here publicly just in case anybody watching this ever wants to work for somebody. I'm like, well, do you use Cubase? That's the program that we use for like putting the music to picture. No, he doesn't know how to use it. Will you do Sibelius? That's the program I use for the notation, the sheet music and stuff. No. He didn't know how to use it. I'm like, well, bro, there's nothing I can hire you to. You can't help me. No offense, obviously. It's just the facts of the matter, So what impressed me was when he had reached back out about doing this internship, he told me that he had learned those programs. And that was really impressive for me, because I was that kind of like hard worker when I was like in my 20s and that age. Like I was doing everything. And I wanted, my philosophy at that time was like, I just want to learn as much as I can, because like if you only have enough money to bring one guy to the studio, it's like I want you to be like, it's got to be Marcus, because he can do this, he can do this, he can do this. His one guy can do all these things. And so I like seeing young cats like work hard. I think it's lost on a lot of them these days, but I'm not going to get on my old man rant. Anyway, so that impressed me. So I was like, well, let's give it a shot, man. So we're going to have an intern to help. I'm definitely going to need to bring on a mixer. I think I want to go to the same guy, Steve. Being candid, he's expensive, so I got to think about it. I got to crunch some numbers, but he's so worth it. His name is Steve K. He's a mixer. He's done some big stuff. You can look at his IMDb. But like, it really adds to, like, his mixing adds to the music. It adds to the experience. Like, it's not just like, a lot of good mixes are like, you think of them as just kind of like transparent. It's like good glass. It's like, I don't want this to affect. I just want to see all the elements or hear all the elements. But it's like, I feel like Steve goes beyond that. And it's like, how do I help you tell that story? Like, it sounds like he makes it feel stronger. Anyway, so I'm probably, if he's available, I'm probably going to end up working with Steve on this and just, biting the bullet, spending the money. All I goes to say, I got a good team. I know editors. I worked with good editors, music editors I can call if we end up needing them. I feel like I got a team in place and I got systems in place. So I'm prepared for it to get busy, but I know it's going to be a lot. And Your boy is tired. Yeah, but so I think I'm gonna stop this first vlog here and see what this is. Don't think I want this first one to be super long, but I am excited to take you on the journey of like making this series. Like eventually we'll be doing more recording. Maybe there will be some section recording in the studio. We're doing a lot of demo stuff right now. So, you know, there's shots at home. So people are doing some remote recording, and because of this is like a smaller project. It's not a smaller project. It's a smaller new series or whatever. It's not like the big budget giant, you know, blockbuster yet until maybe second season. But so a lot of the recording will look like that. But at some point in time, we might need to go to the studio and do like some strings or some drums or some of these things. And yeah, I'm just gonna take you on the journey of composing a new TV series. And I think it's gonna be so cool to like once you actually can see the show. So if any of this sounds interesting, subscribe and we'll go on this journey together. See ya.